To many people in remote areas around the world, the aeromedical service, or in some cases air ambulance service, is the only form of access to emergency and primary health care. Lives are saved every minute of every day by these travelling intensive care units that operate out of the many flying doctor or air ambulance services around the world. One of the first formal and full-time flying doctor services was established in 1928 in the Australian outback.
Full flying doctor service, can I help you?
The Jandakot Coordination Centre is the very heart of Western operations, and from here all patient transfers from the 5 bases are coordinated and tasked.
Our job in the room basically is to receive all our 1-800 medical free phone calls. So typically we're getting about 5,500 to 6,000 calls a month, of which 3,000 of those on our 1-800 medical free phone number. Those calls are usually made up of medical consultations or flight requests. So 87% of our stuff is what we call inter-hospital transfers.
You know, if they get a critical patient up there that we send the Rio jet up for, then that's another thought of getting them on that.
And once we've got a priority on a patient, then the guys and the girls in here will call a crew, depending on which crew they decide to call, and they'll nominate an aircraft and where they need to go, and what the response is on what the priority is on the patient.
Yeah, I just want to give them an ATA to have a patient out to the airstrip, thanks.
Once we've tasked the crew and they've got going, our job here is then to make sure that the ambulances have got the patient out to the airstrip. And also we need to do things like, you know, sometimes if we're going out there at night, we might have to organise for the lights to be put on or flares to be laid out, for the strip to be inspected in case there's kangaroos and that sort of thing on the strip.
9:45, yeah, so if you can let us know when everything's in place and ready, and then we can let the crew know.
No, 666 airstrips. So throughout the whole state of Western Australia, and I say they were all different categories, from Category 1 being like Perth Airport, where you probably came into, and through to the dirt strap of all the road landings, which turned into a strip that we wouldn't go into unless someone was dying. So there's good landings and with tarmac, bad landings with a bit of dirt and dust, and a couple of roos and a couple of emus.
One such airstrip that is considered one of the more remote is in the Pilbara region and services a mine site.
I'm in a bit of a rush where I've got a priority 1, which is our highest priority. So I'm just going to get the gear together and get it onto the plane so that we can get going. There'll be a doctor on this flight because it's a priority 1, so they're on most of the priority 1 flights. I just need one more thing.
A crew, including senior flight nurse John Howes, has been sent there to pick up a man with heart problems.
And just the drugs. Thanks, Trish. Thank you.
As this is a Priority 1 medical emergency, there is an RFDS doctor also on board.
Thanks, John. Councillor Oscar Whiskey Golf. Request your eyes clamps. Approach Oscar Whiskey Golf is passing 1,700 on climb to 3,000. Whiskey Golf approach. G'day, you're identified climb to 6,000. 6,000, Oscar Whiskey Golf.
Today's Priority 1 emergency patient has come in from the town of Manjimup. Manjimup is 300 kilometres south of Perth and is the regional centre for the largest shire in the southwest of Western Australia. The population numbers approximately 4,200 people, and timber is the town's major industry.
What I'm doing, John, we'll go forward. Go forward the wing. Take this.
Only if it's possible, Joan, if we can get the little one out first, but we'll see how we go. I'll leave that to you to decide. Hi, Andy, you okay to open up?
The story of Georgia is that she's a 2-year-old girl who was playing with horses with her mother present and was moved towards the back of the horse when she slipped off and fell to the floor. The horse was startled and did a little hoof cut. That caused her to have a laceration in the head. The reason why we went down was because there was a suspicion from the doctor there that she might have had a skull fracture and that actually there'd be significant brain damage. Fortunately for her, it seems that she's going to be fine. We didn't examine the wounds, but given that she was fine, we were requested to go from Manjimup, which is a 40-minute flight, via Bunbury, which is a half-a-minute flight. So we picked up another gentleman with a heart attack. So be very optimistic that both our patients today will be fine.
What we try to do is, prior to the flights coming in, if we do get multi-flights coming in, which is 2 or more landing within, say, about 15 minutes of each other, what the team leader, St John Ambulance team leader and myself, is we choreograph the movement and the transfer, meaning that we can just get the patient straight to the ambulance that they're meant to go to. Instead of any, I wonder which one they're going to go to, we can go straight to that ambulance, and it can be a very neat, minimised interference transfer.
This one here, the first one?
The first one.
Number 111.
This is Georgie, and she's a little bit grumpy.
When we actually do get into the hangar to do the transfer, we actually transfer the patient from our aircraft stretcher to a St John ambulance stretcher. Both stretchers are quite different in that ours is quite light, so for travel it folds up quite lightly, pops into the aircraft, put away.
She was where she wasn't supposed to be. And she just got copped. Wasn't really a kick, it was more the horse trying to get away from her, and she got in the way of the horse. And yeah, so if it had been a kick, she'd be unconscious, I think.
Quite immediately, this scene, she
Cried
has
straight
been
away.
15 throughout. She's been fine with us, had a little sleep in the plane.
About 11 o'clock. She's had nothing to eat since.
We gave her a little drink of water.
And yep, that's
Do you want a slide board there, Hamish?
Ready?
How old is your daughter?
She's 2.5.
This is our engineering hangar here, which we do all of our own, look after all of our own aircraft here, which is very special, so we don't have to outsource the engineering. We hire all sorts of specialists that will look after them here. So say hello to the boys in engineering, we look after them. So without, they look after us 24 hours a day. They're very, very good. We're very lucky.
The maintenance team work all year round to keep the RFDS fleet at the very highest safety standard.
Here in Western Australia, we do all our own maintenance. We look after 14 PC-12 aircraft. We also have a Hawker 800, which we operate up in Perth Airport. All our 14 aircraft operate throughout Western Australia in 5 bases. We have Jandakot, which is our main base here. We have a base in Derby, Port Hedland, Kalgoorlie and Meekatharra. So yeah, Western Australia is a pretty big place. We maintain our aircraft to an extremely high standard. We tend to replace rather than repair to keep that level of maintenance up. Once the aircraft arrive from Switzerland, we need to customise the fit out inside to suit our operation here in Western Australia, which is a complex installation. We have done a fair bit of that now, and we've nailed that down to about a 12 to 13 day turnaround, which is pretty quick. Reliability and safety is everything, and that's what it's all about.
Of the fleet of 15 aircraft, we have 14 PC-12 aircraft. These are actually a Swiss aircraft that are really well suited to operations in Australia. It's a big cabin, so we can have 2 stretchers and doctors and nurses working in the cabin in relative comfort. It has a really good capacity to get into short strips, dirt strips, and good capacity to take off from short dirt strips too, such as we have in many areas of the state. The aircraft is really well suited to aeromedical operations in this state with our unique conditions.
The RFDS Western operations travel just over 7 million kilometres a year in these airborne intensive care units.
The PC-12 is a modern turboprop aircraft. It was designed with aeromedical in mind. Our cousins in South Australia were actually involved in some of the design features. 2 of the better features are obviously this cargo door, which allows us to load patients or stretchers in through here. This apparatus is called the SLD, the stretcher loading device, and we use this to actually lift the patients in and out of the aircraft. Having the air stair door at the front is another advantage because the pilot can load the stretchers in, close the cargo door, and then he just moves around to the front and he can enter the cockpit without having to move up the aisle past patients that have got heaps of equipment attached to them. One of the other modern features of the PC-12 is the cockpit. As you can see, it's got 4 TV screens and it is termed a glass cockpit. The glass cockpit is great, but it's also driven by computers and involves a lot of pilot input in setting up the computers. Just recently we've had this device installed. It's called a CCD, a cursor control device, which actually helps the pilot manipulate the data on the screens.
In Western Australia, we've got 14 of the PC-12 aircraft, which are just for the emergency role alone. We have a custom fit out with a special interior, which protects the walls and all the linings from bodily fluids. This is for airway interventions, intubation. Another drawer here has all the IV cannulas and tubes we need to give intravenous fluids. We also have a procedure tray. We can pull this out and put our gear on it if we have to do a procedure on the patient in flight. The fleet of aircraft that's identical across the state, any pilot at any base can fly any aircraft. From the medical team's point of view, because the layout is exactly the same, it's much better for our training. It's the same in 14 different aeroplanes. You'll see as you look around that the aircraft's pretty much fitted out like a hospital. It's got electrical power, mains power, plus DC power. It's got oxygen, it's got suction. We've got a satellite phone which gives us communication from anywhere on the ground or in the air.
This open pit mine is about 800 kilometres northeast of Perth. It was a quick turnaround, and the patient seemed stable. It's not long before Oscar Whiskey Golf is back on the radar at Jandakot, and their landing is being coordinated by the air traffic control team. The coordination centre has to work on prioritising cases as and when they come in.
Today's an interesting little case of a small child who has asthma. So that poses many challenges for us. We'll bring back the child and the mum, so hopefully it'll all go well. If the child's well enough, we'll stop in at Merredin on the way back and pick up an elderly lady who's having problems with her pancreas.
I'm Hakan. I've been working with RFDS for 3 years. I was involved with the RFDS equivalent in the territory in the past, so when I moved to Perth I was quite keen to work for RFDS. I work part-time for them. I'm also an emergency at Perth Hospital. So on the whole, like John, I generally love the work, but a few moments that I don't, and few hairy moments on a plane especially. So on the whole, I just love the teamwork.
Merredin is located in the central wheat belt, midway between Perth and Kalgoorlie. It has a population of approximately 2,500.
Well, Mal and I do just practically nearly every day, and I do 3 nights a week and he does 3 nights a week.
And then sometimes through the day we've had up to 11 calls straight one after these last couple of weeks, continuous. And
a lot of RFDS calls. Yes, a lot.
I think, yeah.
Without the RFDS, I don't know what we'd do. We'd have to go by road.
Yeah, they're just awesome. And we get to know them personally, really, all the guys that come around, so it makes it well worthwhile.
I got a call this afternoon to come out, to go to the hospital, pick up this lady that we've just transferred, to go down to Perth for further treatment, as I couldn't treat her here at this hospital. So now she'll be on her way to Perth and we go back and wait for her next call.
One of the people working tirelessly to make decisions on priority is today's clinical coordinator, Dr. Andrew Barnes.
The role of the clinical coordinator is really in addition to the operations personnel. The area that we cover, Western Australia, is 5 times the size of Texas and twice the size of the UK, France and Germany combined. So it's a huge area to cover. Over the last few years, the traffic has increased dramatically, such that if you've got say 16 turboprop aircraft, 1 helicopter and a jet to organise, one of the problems we have is not just the logistical organisation of it, in terms of where the aircraft go, how the ambulances are arranged to pick them up, which hospitals they're going to, that sort of stuff. It's also deciding the patient priorities. The operations controllers that are on 24 hours a day are there to make decisions about which aircraft goes where. So the clinical coordinator really adds on top of that. When you're flying around, your office is very big, always looking out the window. That suits a personality like me.
RFDS in WA employs 42 pilots, which includes 5 training pilots. Experience level goes from some of the junior pilots who might only have 3,000 or 4,000 hours up to just recently. Last year, one of my pilots clocked up 20,000 hours. Yeah. Not all RFDS flying. I myself personally, I have 17,500 hours, of which 16,000 are RFDS emergency work. So as you can see, the experience base of our pilots is quite high.
For severe emergencies that happen in areas of extreme isolation, it is often necessary for the RFDS to perform road landings.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just making sure I'm going to...
So that's the base of
our Kalgoorlie crew, which is out to the west of us. They're flying out to a place called Chukarelia, which is about 600 kilometres from Kalgoorlie. They've got to do a road landing out there. And it's a pretty sick patient out there, so they'll close off the road. The police have been informed. They'll take down all the posts, knock down any small bushes, trees, give the road a quick sweep type thing before the aircraft comes in. So that's a fairly important one. They're off doing that.
And they have to land on the road because there's the airstrip is obviously unserviceable for some reason, say it rain, boggy or flood bad or something. So we've got the police permission, which is a mandatory requirement of ours to land on the road. We obviously need your permission to do the same.
The only people that can close a road in Australia are the police department, or if they delegate that to someone. So in this case, the police work in conjunction with ourselves. They have a set of rules which they use to close off the highway. In this case, they have to close the highway off 2 kilometres, and our landing strip is 1,200 metres long. Doing a road landing is illegal in Australia, so a pilot would have to declare a mercy flight. A mercy flight basically we can declare if there's life or limb in danger, or a person will be totally incapacitated as a result of their injuries.
The local police are vital to coordinating these emergency landings.
When we get the call in regard to an RFDS plane needing to land in a remote location, we'll come out, first of all, notify, look at the scene. What we then generally do prior to their arrival, as I said, we've gone through, we're checking for debris, making sure the service is suitable for what they require. We'll be in contact with the communications at Jandakot and letting them know of what we've got here, and then they'll be in contact with the pilot. When the pilot does get closer, if they're on the UHF, we can actually then pick them up and we'll be able to actually talk to the pilot. And the pilot will be able to see from up in the air if he's happy with the layout that we have got. We'll have both sides of the road completely blocked off with our marked vehicles, lights going, everything, and then we'll literally just stop the traffic. Traffic will stop, no one will be going through until RFDS is pretty much happy. Out above the air, so they can clearly see how we have got the situation secured for them. And if they're happy, they'll generally let us know straight away that, yep, okay, we're coming in, we're on our finals now. We'll be able to see the aircraft coming in, and a lot of people that are watching probably think it's pretty good then, because they're seeing a plane landing on the highway, which is a pretty amazing experience to see.
Obviously the RFDS landing on the road is a last resort, but in instances it does happen and has to happen due to the nature of the incident on the road, but they obviously prefer to land in designated landing strips, which are dotted all over the state and all over the country, I presume. Definitely in Western Australia there are quite a few on the highways that are well marked and well maintained by the local shires and councils.
This morning the Kalgoorlie crew, which is based down here, they've already taken off. It's about a 1 hour flight out to Chukarelia, which is just out here. So it's Kalgoorlie direct to Chukarelia Roadhouse. That's about 650 k's by air. Take them about 58 minutes, that's all. And the Roadhouse people out here, they'll close off the road, lay down all the signposting, do a sweep of the road, just make sure there's no vermin around, such as kangaroos, camels, goats, things like that, and any sort of bush or wood or bottles that's been left laying around the roadway, and they'll just clear it, make sure it's correct. They'll have a car stand at one end and a car at the other end, most likely four-wheel drives out there, and they'll just make sure that no people or animals venture onto the road as the aircraft comes in. They'll probably be there about 20 minutes or so, have a quick coffee, load the patient and take back off, straight back to Kalgoorlie.
While we've got coordinators on the desk doing the main role, part of my role is to make sure that we are doing the right procedures, because landing on the roadway has got its problems, has got its dangers, and it has to be the right category of flight to land on that roadway. And my job today really on that particular area is just to make sure we are covering all procedures and relevant agencies are informed. So I've been in today to make sure that we've done those procedures and touch base with the relevant heads of departments within our own organisation.
In December 2010, the RFDS made 2 unbelievably skillful and dramatic landings in response to a single vehicle rollover that happened at Nanyutara, a remote part of the Pilbara region. Nanyutara is a road landing location often used for motor vehicle crashes that occur along the northwest coastal highway. RFDS staff worked in temperatures of up to 50 degrees Celsius for 5 hours to prepare the injured patients for transfer. Their rubber-soled work boots melted off their feet, and some suffered some degree of heat stroke. 2 people died in the crash, and 4 others were seriously injured. Working under such unpredictable and difficult circumstances and faced with life-threatening decisions on a daily basis, it takes a certain type of person to work for the RFDS.